Chapter 64 Laws of Murder. Numbers 35, 9 to 34. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come over Jordan into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which killeth any person at unawares. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the congregation in judgment. And of these cities which ye shall give, 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. Ye shall give 3 cities of this side Jordan, and 3 cities ye shall give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that every one that killeth any person unawares may flee thither. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. And if he smite him with throwing a stone wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Or if he smite him with an hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The Avenger of Blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meeteth him, he shall slay him. But if he thrust him of hatred, or hurl at him by laying of wit, that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hands, that he die, he that smote him shall surely be put to death. For he is a murderer. The Avenger of Blood shall slay the murderer when he meeteth him. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without laying of wit, or with any stone wherewith the man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him that he die, and was not his enemy, neither sought his harm, then the congregation shall judge between the slayer and the Avenger of Blood according to these judgments. And the congregation shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the Avenger of Blood, and the congregation shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whither he was fled. And he shall abide it unto the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whither he was fled, and the Avenger of Blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the Avenger of Blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood, because he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment unto you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whoso killeth any person, the murderer shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Moreover, he shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer which is guilty of death, but he shall be surely put to death. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land, until the death of the priest. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I the Lord dwell among the children of Israel. Numbers 35, 9 to 34. The 6 cities of refuge were Levitical cities at strategic points in Israel. They were places for men guilty of involuntary manslaughter to escape to, and hearings were held there to determine their guilt or innocence. The classic example is of men chopping down trees. An axe head flies loose and kills another man. If the axe head were known to be loose, or the handle split, the man who used the axe was liable on a murder charge. If, however, the axe appeared to be sound, and the accident was totally unanticipated. Then the man was innocent. There was no guilt or malice on his part. Basic to this law is the fact of vendettas and feuds. Supposedly, these are now a thing of the past, except in backward areas of Africa or Asia. The Hatfield-McCoy feud in the United States was well known. Despite the veneer of a more civilized behaviour, we do have such killings throughout the Western world, and not only among foreign-born elements. More than a few killings today are based on some form of vendetta, whether they are paid, professional killer jobs, or amateur ones. Our pretense is at advancements do a poor job of covering up reality. Biblical law recognizes the realities of the human scene and fallen man. It therefore governs where we prefer to ignore the facts of a fallen world. The cities of refuge provided a place of escape for a man pursued by the avenging kinsman of the dead man. In that Levitical city, a thorough hearing was held. If the man were found innocent, he could dwell safely in the city until the death of the high priest. When that death occurred, whether a few weeks or a few decades hence, he was free to leave. If he left earlier, the Avenger of family blood could kill him. If he left only after the death of the high priest, then no man could legally touch him. Since the high priest was a type of Christ, the death of the high priest wiped away all responsibility, however accidental, for the death. All recognized that atonement had been made. The Avenger, or Goel, was a kinsman. Jesus Christ is declared to be our kinsman redeemer, our next of kin, who avenges us of our adversary. Isaiah repeatedly refers to God and Christ as the kinsman redeemer of his elect people. The idea of an Avenger of Blood seems primitive to modern man. The enforcement of the law against criminals has been transferred from families and persons to the state. If a crime is committed against us, it is up to the discretion of the state's officers whether or not they wish to prosecute. Under the old order of Christendom, prosecution depended on the offended person or family and was mandatory for the civil officers. This is the biblical pattern. In the case of a murderer, if the Levite court found the killer guilty, his execution could follow in either of two ways. First, as in this chapter, the kinsman in charge of the prosecution could execute the man, or, second, the community would execute him, usually either by hanging or stoning. Any crime is an offence against God and the community. The Levites acted for God in rendering a judgment, and so too did the kinsman and or the community. In medieval England, this custom or law prevailed, and crosses on the roads to churches could provide refuge until the church staff came to give safe conduct to the church, pending a trial. Even the king had to honour the verdict. Cities of refuge are also discussed in Deuteronomy 19, 1-13, and Joshua 20, 1-9. Verse 15 makes it clear that the cities of refuge apply to both Israelites and foreigners. Anyone could seek sanctuary there, pending the trial. Apparently, according to verse 24, the theocratic community took part in the trial so that the decision of the court represented the laws of God and the assent of the people. Instead of being quote-unquote primitive law as some have held, this is law of the highest order, God's law, and two premises are clear. First, there must be an intent to kill or criminal negligence for the killer to be killed, verses 20 and 21. Second, if a man is indeed guilty of murder, he must be killed. Verse 31 makes it clear that there can be no monetary or other substitutions for the life of the killer. See also Exodus 21, 12-14, Deuteronomy 19, 1-13, Leviticus 24, 17. In the cases of accidental killings, there was no moral guilt, but there was a legal fact of a death. As a result, the man was restricted to the city of refuge. In God's covenant with Noah, we read, "And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast will I require it, and at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed, for in the image of God made he man." Genesis 9, 5 and 6. The sad fact is that even one of the better commentators has referred to the fact of man's creation in the image of God as a quote-unquote notion. It is no wonder that the church is so impotent. One of the myths of our time is that quote-unquote impartial judgment must prevail in the courts. This is a foolish belief because, first of all, a judge must be partial to justice. There is a difference between ascertaining the facts and favouring one side or another. The judge must favour justice and the innocent person. Second, in Deuteronomy 19:20, it is clearly stated that the local elders or judges shall have jurisdiction, together with Levitical guidance. Now, a change of venue is sought, and trials are actually held at times without notifying the victim. Since it is quote-unquote the state versus the criminal, the victim can be ignored, especially if plea bargaining is the course of action being taken. In the trial, the evidence of two or more witnesses or more than one kind of evidence was necessary for conviction. Verse 30. The presumption of innocence until proven guilty governs in biblical law. Not even confession is sufficient for conviction. It requires corroboration before it can be used. There is a very important aspect to this law which must not be overlooked. God commands the avenging of blood. He requires both the family and the community to be a part of this justice process, together with the Levites. It is not presented, as with feuds and vendettas, as a matter of family honour, but as a requirement under God. It is therefore a very serious error to compare it to feuds and vendettas, to a Hatfield and McCoy world. The cities of refuge and the duty of the Levites move it from the local realm to a religious duty. God requires it of the family and the community to bring about justice, whether a guilty verdict or an acquittal. The matter cannot be reduced to a purely human level. It is not family honour, but God's honour that is at stake. The Avenger of Blood, unlike the vendetta and feud scene, cannot exact vengeance on innocent members of the family of the man who has sought refuge in a Levitical city. In the vendetta and feud, innocent members of the fleeing man's family are routinely murdered. God requires that only the guilty suffer. As a result, the tendencies of scholars to place this law in the realm of family vendettas and clan feuds is idiotic and perverse. As we have seen, first, the basic premise of this law is that man is made in the image of God. It is therefore a serious offence in the sight of God when murder takes place. God makes it clear all through the Bible that he will not forget the shedding of blood and will exact vengeance on the nation that does not administer justice. Second, we have a key premise set forth in verses 33 and 34. So, ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. Like statements are very common in the whole of the Bible. We are told that unpunished murder pollutes, profanes, and dirties up the land. The land cannot then be cleansed except by the blood of him that shed it. Where people claim to be God's people, he dwells also, and to defile such a land brings an especial judgment. After a time, God ceases from all partial judgment and brings about a radical and total one. As we are told in Isaiah 1:5, why should we be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. The country that will not punish crime will be punished by God. The country that will not execute murderers will be executed by God.